Wow, that is amazing. Just amazing. Hey guys, this is Randy and welcome aboard the Seabee Traveler Channel. Up here on the left is a building. I've always known it as Scott's Bar, but you've probably driven by it 1,000 times and didn't know much history about it, or just thought maybe it's an old building that needed to be condemned. But it has a pretty interesting history, and I have some first-hand knowledge from people that have basically lived here, and they have a lot of information that I'd like to share with you guys. So let's get started.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling now? When all the pieces seem like they can't be found.
While I show you the front of the building, I wanted to give you a real quick brief on my ties to this building. Back in 1976, we moved out to Quartzsite, and Ben, who owned this bar, was World War II buddies with my grandfather. And in this picture, Ben is on the left and my grandma and grandpa are on the right. And he let us come out and stay on his property, which is out near what they call La Paz Valley now. We came out and set up a windmill for him. He had cattle out there and he needed a way to get water. So we put up a windmill for him. And then when we would come into town, and as a kid, you can imagine when you're out in the desert for a whole summer, anytime you can come into town, that would be, it's quite a treat. So one of the first things we would do was stop in here at the bar and talk to Benny. Maybe he had a shop at the time, so maybe get some parts that we may have needed to get some repairs done for him. So in a nutshell, that's my earliest memories of this bar, and I still remember them to this day. Going back in time to probably the 1930s, this road that runs in front of the bar was Highway 60 and 70, and it wasn't elevated like it is now. It ran down through the washes, and the original bar, or the original building the Scots had, was on this side of the road. They knew the road was going to be elevated, and they wanted to use this building. So before they elevated the road, they took this building and drug it back across to behind where the bar is now. And after they got that moved, they started working on foundations, the basement levels, getting some concrete poured so that they could build the bar, the store, and the shop up at the current street elevation. So back then, the bathrooms weren't inside, they were outside. So they had a little bit of a catwalk running along this end of the building, and you had to walk outside there and then head into, oh, I saw some footprints. Let's see if I can find I was looking for a date. I don't see a date here. Wait, does that say like and subscribe? It's pretty old, but I don't see any date there. But anyways, yeah, there was a walkway that took you outside to the bathrooms. So that's how I remember it. All right, let's go take a little bit closer look. This adobe, he was working on the new technique for using adobe brick. He wasn't using the old style where they had the straw built into it, so he's trying to design a new type of adobe that they could use. So a lot of this is his design of the adobe bricks. Ooh, spider webs and bars. It looks kind of spooky, huh, from out here. Let's walk down this way a little bit, see what we can see. Yeah, the plaster's really starting to come off of it now. And you can see up top how the rain is starting to take effect on the parts that are where the plaster is eroded away. So, not sure how much longer this building will have. But this is a little bit better view. You can see the foundation that they built up at the street level. And a little bit later, I have a story to tell you about a gunfight that happened out here too. They drilled a hole through that adobe to get that pipe through there. I saw the foundation, 1932 in that cornerstone right there. Well, I'm glad they put that date. Every time I see concrete looks old, I'm always looking for a date. Yeah, so back here gives you a good idea what the back of the building looks like. I think that'd be a good picture. Let me get one, maybe a black and white. See what it looked like. You can see the doors have all been knocked down. They don't want people coming in here. Sometimes you'll find transients that come in here and need a place to stay for a couple nights and then move on. But yeah. Here's a better view of that brick. See if I can get zoomed in here a little bit. His adobe system. Yeah, it's got rock embedded into it, but no straw like you saw in the old times. But even that's starting to wear out with the weather, with the elements. Boy, they're serious about their bars in the windows. They look like they may have been added in later with some mortar. But it glares just out a little bit. And here is, let's come down here a little bit. This was the back of the shop area. When it was originally built, this was a shop. I wanted to come check out, this looks like it was the foundation for, they had some shit, June 1932. There's another 1932, which is the same time as the foundation was poured. But they had storage sheds back here, so this was probably a foundation for one of those. Seen better days. And it looks like it was added on too. You can kind of see the newer slab versus the older one. Let's go see what this is. This was probably the well. Yeah, I'm sure of it because they told me they had to put something over it and lock it up. But this was the well where they got their water. It looks like it's being taken over by ants or some sort of desert critters. Alright, I want to go take a look inside. How about you guys? It's kind of exciting for me because I haven't been in here since, oh, you know what? There's one more thing I want to show you before we go inside. Right along here, let's see if I can point it out for you. Right along here, there was a balcony. Went to the bottom of that door, top of the doorway there to the basement. And that patio ran from the edge of the building. You see there where I told you where the bathrooms were, it ran all along the back. You can kind of see down there where the posts went for support. Let's take a look inside. So this was the apartment that they stayed in. Oh boy, is it dark in here. Wow, I'm gonna have to really slow down. But I actually brought a light with me just so that it'll help me if it was this. I knew it was kind of dark in here, I could tell, so I brought a light. Look at that pipe hanging down. Look at that. Looks like there's some, well, not new probably construction, but newer construction supports with the older. I can see bottles and stuff in here, like I was saying before. There's sometimes there'll be transients in here that come in here and stay. Look at that. Yeah, there's some newer timber. Help hold the floor up. Not sure how if this would be up to code or not, but I guess it's working so far. And I wonder what this slab over here was for. I don't. The other thing I don't see down here is plumbing for a bathroom. Maybe they had some wash basin or something over here, but who knows? Yeah, I don't see any plumbing for a bathroom, so they must have had to maybe go up to the store or something to use the bathroom. Nothing in here. Oh, somebody left a hat down here. Alright, well, let's see what we can find in the next room over. Alright, so this was the storeroom. Get my light out, it's dark in here too. But yeah, this was the storeroom where they kept the supplies for the bar and the store upstairs. And they kept everything in here. Probably the liquor, the food supplies, and believe it or not, they even stored dynamite down here. Because back in the day, they sold dynamite to the miners that were up in the hill. But I had a story from Frank, who is the nephew of Ben, who owned this. He was telling me, yeah, we'll go back up there. We'll go up there in a second. But he was telling me how he would come over and help as much as he could when he was probably 8 or 9 years old. And his grandpa had him one time come grab some supplies and grab a stick of dynamite and a cap for it, and really stressed to him how important it was not to put the two together. So it's just kind of amazing how what we expect of our kids these days compared to back then. All right, this is gonna be fun. Let's go upstairs, take a look. It's been so what? These stairs are dirty. Man, there's a lot of. Did they put gravel? What is this, like gravel up here? What is this stuff? What? Nope. It ain't gravel. Holy cow. There is so much bird poop up here. Holy cow. Take a look at this. This whole floor is just covered with bird poop. Wow. Hope it's safe. I don't know. Maybe I should have wore a mask, but I'll be all right. Wow, this brings back so many memories. I just remember walking around here with my dad and my grandpa. And there's looking out the balcony, that old slab. And there's the old truck, a little bit closer. But all right, let's take a look inside. This would have been the store area. Well, let's go take a look at this other room. This is where the bar was, and then we'll come back in here. Oh boy, it's super dark in here too. Wow. Oh, this brings back, I don't know, kind of got goosebumps thinking about coming in here as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old. All these memories come flooding back. But this was the bar, and they had a bar coming across probably pretty close to where I'm standing. And these paintings on the wall, those are original paintings. They were here, and you'll see, look at that painting up there. You can see where there's a hole in the roof. Let me see if I can get up here and get a closer look. Adjust my light a little bit here. Take it down some. Let me see here. Yep, there we go. Well, I'm just looking. I'm seeing if I could find any type of signature on that or a date, but I'm not seeing anything. But I was told these are the original paintings that they put here, and wow. You can just see there's a hole in the roof where it's taken away the adobe, and it's just working its way through. The frame is still there, and you can See the old adobe brick behind the plaster. What is that plate? I don't know what that. It's not. I don't know what that plate was for. Well, this has got my attention. I think there has got to be a picture here. Let me see if I can't get one. Here's another one. I wish I could. It's still pretty dark. I wish I could see a signature on there. But, anyways, this window is facing the street. So you'd have seen that on at the very beginning of the video when I was looking from the street, and that's the front door to the bar. This is so cool. And wow, look at that entryway over there. We'll check that out in a second, but I wanted to look at these other pictures. Now I have some old pictures of my grandpa and Benny, who owned this. I got some pictures from my mom, and I could have swore I saw one of them together in this bar. Let's see if I can dig some up. And during processing of this, I'm gonna see if I can throw it in here. Another cool story I heard was that if Ben happened to be downstairs getting supplies, bringing them up, and somebody wanted something to drink, they just go grab it themselves and just leave the money on the bar. Also, if you have a story, I'd like to hear it. I'm sure we all would. Just yeah, leave it in a comment down below. That'd be interesting to hear. Yeah, this was the store originally, and then it was a restaurant at one point too. And I guess we're looking towards Main Street, and that would be the entrance to the store. Yeah, all the glass is broken out. And on the other side of this wall, they had a big concrete cooler, like a meat locker in there. And the roof's caving in down there. I just can't get over how much. Must be pigeon poop in here. Let me get a closer look at this. This kind of shows, as he was working through his technique, he added rebar. Yeah, that's rebar. He added rebar in there to help. So a combination of adobe with rebar in it, and you can just see it melting down onto the floor like wax, like hot wax. Wow, that's awesome. You hear that? Crunch, crunch, crunch in the bird poop. Crunch, crunch, crunch in the bird poop. Now everybody, crunch, crunch. Hey, you gotta have fun, right? Maybe they should call me the singing Seabee. See if I can get a little bit closer here. And this is looking out back. You can see the well and that old slab. But this was originally the whoa, that floor is creaking there. This was originally a shop, like a garage. They had gas pumps out front. You can get your car worked on. But in mid 80s, I'm thinking like 1984, they have they remodeled this and they converted it into part of the bar where they could have live music in here. So, but I came across an invitation that shows the date, and I'm going to try and add that during my post-production of this video. But I wanted to show you this. If you remember, I was telling you about this concrete wall that had, it was the meat locker, and there was no way to get to it from the inside. You could only get to it from the outside. There's something else right up here. Below that exit sign is a sign that said the garage. I wonder if that was original or if that was part of the remodel. I'd be interested to know. I know there's people out there that would know if that was original. So if you could just let me know down in the comments. But you can see this is where the stage was for the live band. And as far as I can remember, not much else has changed. The rafters, all that still I still remember looking up at those as a kid and seeing that. So it might have been over the years remodeled, but it still looks pretty much the same as I remember it. Oh God, now that's gonna be stuck in my head. Anyways, I'm gonna head back down because there's another little story I wanted to tell you on the outside. Let me walk down these stairs here. Gotta be careful. Holding the light in one hand and the GoPro in the other. I don't want to slip and fall. Oop, careful. Oh. Ah. Yep, I slipped. And my hand touched the bird poop. Oh God. Oh no. Last thing I wanted to share with you guys. When I was a kid, I heard a rumor about a gunfight that happened back here. And I was never sure if it was true or not. But I talked to Frank, and he was actually in high school when that happened. So this would put it in the early 60s, probably. But the story goes that a guy walked out onto the balcony to go to the bathroom. And of course, he'd been drinking. And he saw a dog walking in this back lot here. So he decided to take a shot at the dog. And when he did that, there were a couple guys came out and they realized that he was shooting at their dog. So they told him to knock it off. He didn't like being told what to do, so he decided to take a shot at them. The problem was they were also carrying weapons, and when he shot at them, they both started shooting back at the guy. So unfortunately, it ended bad for him, and the two guys didn't get in any trouble because it was considered self-defense. So yeah, I learned that was actually a true story, and I was glad I could finally, in my head, make sure that was a true story. But yeah, gunfights in the 60s still happened. Before I let you go, I wanted to just kind of show you that the VFW Hall in Quartzsite is named after Ben Scott. So I thought that was fitting and kind of cool to tie into this story. So yeah, there you go. VFW Post 769. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a deep dive into the bar, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I did learning about it. Growing up here, I didn't know that much history about it, so I'm glad I was able to talk to some family and learn a little bit of history on that. So I'm going to sign off now, and just remember, never say goodbye, always see you later.